Hi, my name is Jessica Fick, and I'm the Evangelism Resource Director here at Stonecroft, and I'm so excited that you want to lead a small group. All it really takes for leading a great small group is a willingness to invest in women, to pray for them, and invite them into your lives as you discover Scripture together. There are a few things that are going to help you make a great small group, and so I'm just going to walk through those briefly. The first is, one, to create space and help women feel welcome. And there's some very simple things you can do to help that. One, if you want to invite someone to host while you facilitate or vice versa, that can be really helpful. So, one person can think about getting our house clean and providing the snacks, and you can focus on how to lead a great discussion and engage all the women in conversation. Next, you want to pick an informal spot and limit distractions so that you can have open communication. So it's hard to build trust and listen to each other if you're at a loud coffee shop, or if a TV is in the background, or kids are running around. So make a plan beforehand of where you want to meet that will really help it to be a safe and welcoming environment. And then lastly, figure out how often you want to meet, where you're going to meet, and how long, so that the women showing up will know what they're getting into right at the beginning of the group. So having a brief discussion together at the beginning of the small group to say, hey, we want to make this a safe place to build relationships. What are things that would help us to do that? Some of them can be, let's focus on what unifies us rather than what divides us. It's easy to go down rabbit trails of things that can be divisive or big issues that could be debated, but you have committed as a group to focus on studying Scripture together, and so continue to reaffirm that and help women to stay on focus of what you've all showed up to do. You want to keep what's shared in the group confidential. So small groups a little bit like Vegas. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So what's shared in your small group stays in your small group. And then you want to really learn and listen from others who have different perspectives from you. Stonecroft small groups are created as a place for women of diverse spiritual backgrounds to come and discover Jesus together. When different beliefs or opinions are shared, it's a chance to learn, and it's a chance to grow and listen to other women who may have different perspectives than you do. These are some things that'll help you create space to have a great small group. The next few things are just some kind of dynamics that are going to help you build relationships with women and help them to openly share with each other. One helpful thing is to ask open-ended questions. A closed-ended question is, do you like music? You can answer that as a yes or no question. And it'd be kind of weird if somebody said, no, I don't like music. In contrast, an open-ended question would be, what did you like about the concert tonight? Try to think through, when you're asking questions of the group, what's going to help the conversation move forward. You want to look, listen, and then lead when you're in a small group. So look around in the group. Who's participating? Who's not participating? How can you help to involve everyone so that every single woman who shows up feels welcome? You may want to do just kind of a general call out and say, hey, I'd love to hear from women who haven't shared yet, or thanks so much for sharing. I'd love to open it up to the rest of the group. So sometimes we can have women who are more chatty, sometimes we can have women who are more quiet, but we really want to value the perspectives of every woman there. Next, you want to listen. It feels great when somebody tells you, hey, what you shared tonight really caused me to think more deeply, or just really affirmed me. So that's called labeled praise, giving a specific compliment and affirming women when they're vulnerable. It's hard and it's scary to do that in a group, so especially for people who are new to exploring Scripture or the Bible or a small group, you want to listen and affirm a woman as much and as often as you can in a very genuine way. This can be one of the most challenging dynamics. If the conversation gets awkward or gets off track, it's your task as a leader to get it back on track. So, sometimes we all go down rabbit holes of things we're excited about or things we're curious about, but you really can lead the group well and serve the group well by saying, hey, we all have different opinions or ideas. let's really try and focus for this next hour on exploring the scripture we've committed to show up to look at tonight. It'd be great if we could talk about this a little bit later. It's just a gentle way to say, let's commit to what we've showed up to do tonight. It's okay if we want to talk about other things, but let's take other time to do that. Ask her more. Sometimes things are shared, and the worst thing that can happen is just the dead silence. Somebody shares something really powerful or vulnerable, and then it's just silent. A great way you can help move things forward is just to ask her more. Tell me more about what that experience was like. That must have been really painful. Or, boy, it sounds like you're very passionate about this idea. Tell me more about that. What got you excited about that in the first place? Some very simple questions to invite her into a deeper conversation can really help women feel cared for and engaged. That's about all it takes to lead a great small group. Just some simple principles of look, listen, lead, ask her more, and create space for relationships. We are cheering you on and praying for you as you start this, and we know God is going to move powerfully in your life and in the lives of women who show up for your small groups.